Hello, 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 and welcome, welcome, welcome. This is your girl Frida with WDGS coming to you live. I'm I'm just moving and shaking today, and I tell you, I'm just so excited, so excited. Can you get excited with me? Today, I'm going to talk about something that we all need to practice in our day-to-day lives. I tell you today, it's a hot topic. As always, I think all of my topics are hot. But we're going to talk about today preparation for expectations. I did something a little earlier, maybe last month on my Facebook Live. Check it out, check me out. But today, we're going to talk about preparation for expectation. And I have three questions that I really like you to tune in to answering in your own mind. One of the things I know when we are in preparation, it is something that is universal. How many of you get that? Universal means global, all over the world. Preparation is very critical and important. The three questions that I have for you to ask yourself: is there anything in your life that you desire to change for the better? Anything in your life that you desire to change for the better? Question number two: do you have a need? Do you have a need to be at a place? And to get to that place, you need to be there and be ready and be on time. Question number three: do you have goals that seems to be so overwhelming and you find yourself challenged by meeting those goals? Well, I want to encourage you today as I mentor to your mind. All of these questions will require an answer of time in order to complete. Did you grab that? In order to answer each one of these questions, it's going to require time out of your day, time out of your schedule in order to complete. You must have time to plan the time for preparation. Oh, I hope y'all grab that. All these questions will require time. Now, the thing about time is this: if you're living in a place, no matter where you're staying, time is factored by 24 hours, whether you live foreign or domestic. So what does that mean? That means that every one of us is given the same amount of time in a day. Some people may look at other people's lives and say, oh, I wish I could be as successful as they are. I wish I could achieve the things they achieved. How did they manage to do this? And I seem to not be able to move forward without taking 5 steps backwards after I take 3 steps forward. Well, I tell you the difference between successful people and people who tend to be, let's say, stagnated in their success or delayed in their success is because one thing I've been studying, and I realize that people who succeed, people who become wealthy, they tend to make preparations. Most of those people will carry what's called a day planner. They will plan their schedule and they will be diligent to stay on schedule with their schedule. Did you grab that? If you're just wandering around in the world with a whole lot of thoughts flowing and wandering around in your head, then that will make you say to yourself, I wonder why I cannot succeed. Well, let me help you with that. The reason you're not succeeding in taking the steps and all your mind is doing is just wandering around about what you wonder. You should take that time to make preparations. This is the thing, people. Time cannot be avoided. Time. We cannot avoid the most important step in preparation. What time does, it prevents hindrance or delays. It doesn't mean that you cannot succeed your goals or you may not be successful, but when you don't have planned time with preparation, then what happens is it will prevent you, it will delay you. And see, the major key factor of preparation is to avoid procrastination. Oh, I hope somebody grabbed that. The main reason to avoid, if you avoid preparation, then that will eliminate procrastination. Preparation, I just want to give you a few key instructions for maintaining, sustaining, and changing. Whether you want to change your self-improvement, your career, you want to relocate, you even want to change in your relationships, even with your education and your knowledge. All these things can only transition more smoothly in your life if you have implemented preparation. Now, although preparation may take time, but listen, you got to get this point. It also helps to avoid consuming unnecessary time. And when you learn how to not consume unnecessary time, then you'll begin to be on time instead of off time. Because when you're off time, I can hear to tell you, things will be out of order. You know, last night I listened to the interview with Meghan and Harry, Princess Meghan and Prince Harry, in the interview with Oprah Winfrey. And one of the things that Oprah asked, the question was this to Meghan. She said, "Did you do your homework before stepping in the position of a prince, or a princess to be married to a prince?" So Megan said to her, she said, "Well, no, actually I didn't." And I heard Oprah reiterate the question, one exactly almost the same way, another one in a different way. And she had this look, this puzzled look on her face like, really? You did not sit down and make time of preparation of the position you were stepping into? And Megan said to her, "No, actually, I did not." So one of the things I'm saying is this. Perhaps, and I'm just saying a perhaps, had Megan decided to do some preparation before walking into the position, she may have saved herself some emotional, mental, self-esteem, and self-support. Even for herself, if she had implemented preparation. Now I want to share a few other tips about preparation. Because see, in my position as I mentor to you information about yourself, whether it's your own career path. I am just here to provide guidance, motivation, emotional support. I'm like a role model. And see, a lot of time people misconstrue the meaning of a mentor. A mentor is somewhat of a role model. And see, as being a role model, I speak to people from wisdom, knowledge, and mostly experience. So I mentor to assist with you exploring, whether it be a career or setting goals or even developing contacts, but mainly identifying resources. I hope somebody grabbed this. So now in my position, today I'm coming to you and I'm encouraging you to be motivated by preparation. You know, me, myself, I am also in a preparation. And the purpose of my preparation is because I do have higher expectations. So even if your preparation on day to day is just to get to work on time. I tell you, when I worked in corporate America for 20 years and 10 years prior to that in retail management, there was one thing I had to implement in order for me to be more timely in work and get to work on time. And that was preparing my clothes the night before. Oh, I hope somebody grabbed that. I did not wait till I woke up the next morning to prepare what I was wearing to work the next day because it was more time consuming in case I got something I didn't feel like putting on or wearing. I got to change 2 or 3 times. And then I realized just what I said earlier. I was delayed in my time. So I began preparing, and I'm going to tell you, based on an experience, why I got to this place. I remember when I graduated from Central Georgia Technical College, they had a co-op program. And in that co-op program, they would automatically place you in a suitable career field. So in my career field, which was marketing management, they sent me on an interview to Geico. And at this time, because I made a lot of delayed decisions, I was 25 years old when I came to the realization, the importance of being educated. Now, education come in several different platforms. I'm not going to get into that. But after I graduated, they sent me to Geico. I went to the interview. I was hired the same day. They made out my government badge and all this because Geico is the acronym for Government Employees Insurance Company. And so after I did my little research prior to the interview, that was preparation. I want y'all to get this now. I did my research. That's why I knew Geico was an acronym for Government Employees Insurance Companies. And I realized that initially they only insured people who had jobs with the government. Oh, I hope somebody grabbed that. See, but at that time, they had opened the market up to sell to everyone. But I had not done my preparation of research. So when I was in the interview, the lady asked me the question a little bit about the company. And so I began to share with her information that I had prepared. So after that interview, I had 3 interviews in one day. You do a verbal interview, then you do a written part of your interview, and then you had to role play in your interview that you was actually speaking with someone on the phone. And after those 3 interviews, they would collaborate, have you sit in a room and wait until they came back to let you know if you were hired. Okay, once I got hired, then I had to go through what's called a 90-day probationary period. And in that 90-day probationary period, every 30 days, they would do an evaluation of the progress that you've made from the checklist of the items they would give you in your career. Now, they hired me initially as a collection person in the collection department. And at that time, we would just contact people who were in arrears on their premiums and policies all over the world. Listen to me, people, not just in the city I was hired. I saw people with names and addresses from all over the world that I had to submit correspondence to. Okay, stay with me. But at the end of the 90-day probation, I had a tendency to being tardy. This is where I'm going with this. So after the 90-day probation, which every probationary write-up evaluation I received was good. They always in the 90s, especially the last 90-day period. At the end of it, it was a 99. I still have those in my memoirs. Now, what happened though, I eventually was terminated for being tardy. Now, it didn't start out from being tardy, but my supervisor said that I was insubordinate because I didn't answer her question. And she hollered, meaning shouted very loud, "Why are you late?" Now, I'm approaching her coming through the corridor. I refused to shout back. And as I approached her face to face, arm length, I informed her why I was tardy, although I had had several write-ups. And she asked me why I did not answer her immediately. And I shared to her. I said, because I refuse to holler or shout an answer back to you when I knew I must pass your desk in order to get to my desk. So I elected to wait until I was closer to you to address you. Now, she found that to be offensive, according to her. She said I should have answered her immediately. Otherwise, I was being insubordinate. And I said, well, no disrespect. I said, I just don't understand the logic in needing to shout an answer when I'll get closer to you to provide the answer. Well, she shouted the answer, like the question, like 3 times. And I still elected not to answer her until I got close proximity. So she said, well, we got to go to her supervisor. She was my supervisor. We go to another supervisor in order that, because she said I was considered insubordinate because I did not answer her immediately. And then when I responded with her, she said, well, who do you think you're speaking to? And I said, well, I thought I was speaking to a grown woman just like myself. You're a grown up. I'm a grown up. I didn't want to shout an answer. But long story short, her supervisor said because of my repeated tardiness, although my evaluations was in the 90%, then they was going to go ahead and release me. But she said, if you get hired in another job and you can prove that you can get to work on time, hang with me just a few more minutes. She said, then you can always come back and reapply and we will definitely hire you again, because we like your work performance. So one thing I learned at 25 years old, the importance of preparing to be to work on time, because it cost me a good paying job. I had just reached a pay grade at 25 years old that was positioning me. They put this on my evaluation. They said at my work ethics, they saw in the future that I would move up into a supervisory position. But because I was delayed in being more prepared and getting to work, and this is what I'm saying to you, even now, I have anticipations on moving the end of the year, but I'm in preparation mode now. Now, I want to share a few more tidbits about being in preparation. When you are in preparation, sometimes you really, in your 24 hours, you're going to really have to cut back and shade back. You're going to have to re-strategize your routine schedule to fit in that slot, your preparation time. But remember, we all have 24 hours in a day. Sometimes even shaving back and cutting back may not be regular engagements in your routine as well as it is people. Did you grab that? Sometimes you got to cut some people out of your schedule to replace them with your preparation time. If you need to prepare for work the next day, you may have to get off the phone. If you need to prepare to move and you need both of your hands to pack boxes and move items, you may just have to shut yourself off from your telephone in your other hand. Oh, I hope somebody grabbed this. When you're in preparation of studying, you may have to shut off some people from contacting you. Sometime, I'm just saying, you may need to put your cell phone on do not disturb. Oh, I hope you got that. Sometime, when you're in preparation, you must remember whether or not your goal, if you're working to be successful in your endeavor, and you have to go through preparation, let me just share with you. You must make time to make ready what your expectations are. You must make time to prepare if you're going to a ball or an event. And if it's an after 5, you have a certain apparel that you must wear. You must make preparation time to shop, to look around and not only get what was feasible for the occasion, but maybe even the bargain. You must allocate that in your schedule. When you're paying bills monthly, let me tell y'all something. I make preparations to sit down and plan what day I am going to pay my bills. I have a pre-planned day. If I know that my benefits to pay my bills are deposited on a certain day, then I know that day in advance. So what I do, and this is just me, I do what's called a pre-prep. So I sit down, I pre-prep my bills to make sure I've added no new bills or I've eliminated a previous bill. So when the money show up on that day, I have already positioned and prepared myself to pay these bills based on me making preparations. I had expectations of my money depositing in my account. So, because of the expectation, I have already made preparations, even though some of them are reoccurring, what they call reoccurring and revolving bills. I still sit down and make sure every single month I do this. Even though I'm looking sometime at repeated bills, I look at those bills and I make sure that these bills are still intact and the expectations of my finances will be also. But I also like to look at when I eliminate a bill, then what I need to shift that money to another priority. Y'all hear me now? Preparation gives me that outlet. That's all I'm saying. So in this message, because I didn't want to overload past 15 minutes, but I wanted to make those points. This is going to be a part one of preparation for expectations. There are many things we're going to cover in this preparation. Even today, I just kind of jumped around a little bit, but we're going to make it a little more structured on some of the things that many of us are making preparations for expectations. And one of the things, most importantly, the preparation of expectation is for success. You want to live your life on purpose and you want to succeed in every endeavor that you have purposed and planned in your thoughts, in your educational career, in whatever journey or avenue that you have purpose to venture. It will require, listen to me, grasp this, it will require preparation. So next week, we're going to talk about, I'm coming before you weekly in my mentoring sessions. Next week, what we're going to talk about is the fact that if you do not make preparations, then where would that lead you to in your choices for your career, in your choices, in your relationships, in your choices for your family, your home life, relocating, even just moving forward in the day. So next week, we're going to talk about daily preparations within the day. Okay, you all have a great, wonderful, marvelous Monday. I don't know about you all, but the weather is gorgeous. So until the next mentoring session, please check out my platforms, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. I'm having 2 pages on YouTube. I have a YouTube mentor page, and now I'm getting ready to launch a YouTube Bible study page. So there will be 2 YouTube WDGS pages. I'm making the same transition on my Facebook platform. I will be having 2 Facebook pages, one to mentor and one that will be exclusively as we venture the historical parts of the Bible. Very enlightening. I've been having some self-teaching courses. So I'm telling you, this information is enlightening. Please remember, think of yourself always, because there's only one you. And being in that only one you want the best of who you are. So know that every day that your life is purpose and plan. Make preparations for all your wonderful expectations. I leave you with the scripture. You know me, I like to mentor from uh, biblical platforms. I leave you with this scripture because this scripture is very profound. It's Proverbs 24 and 27. It said, prepare your work. Get everything ready for yourself. And after that, you will build your house. Well, you know, I'm paraphrasing. Proverbs 24 and 7. Even God Himself encouraged us to make preparations. And until the next Monday, this is going to be Monday, Mind Moving Mondays. Tune in. I bid you a beautiful, blessed day. Always. God bless. Good day.